do you go about writing a book about the history of a region?
Well, I was lucky. I'd been a journalist for a long time, so I knew a little bit about research. I also do a lot of family history, so I'm very acquainted with things like papers past and official records. And we were very lucky here when we were doing the one on the Northern Agricultural and Pastoral Association, the Rangiora show, which was called Northern simply because it was north of Christchurch. But all of the records there are in the Rangiora Museum, so I was able to go back through the old minute books, wonderful volumes, wonderful florid script. Just takes an hour to actually decipher the handwriting, but the information was there. Again, because it's a rural area, a lot of the family names are still there. I mean, the original families are traced in the street names, the roads around here, Gresson's Road and Staveley Road. They're all the names of people that have been in this area for a long time. The main driver for that, though, was because I was told to by people like Nicky. I fell into that one because of my journalistic background, and because it was the 150th anniversary, we decided we needed a book, and that's how I got lumbered to do it, and I found it actually fascinating. I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. It opened a few more avenues of investigation for me that I've used in other spheres like family history. But no, I was lucky in as much as that there was a lot of original information still here in the museums and in families around with stuff.
So if somebody's looking at another district, that's where they start in museums and such?
I would think start at the museum. No, first of all, go through your membership and find your established members. Because, we've got great grandkids now in their 80s, but they're great grandkids of the people who were starting the shows. And those ones, if you've got to tap them and find out if they've still got records, that old photographs and stuff that they've got, old cups. That was one of the great thrills, was finding some old cups from
100 and something.
100. They were 150, 49-year-old cups. And they ended up in Canada. And it had come back here way time ago. And it was just a fascinating story, tracing them back through to a gentleman who had been farming down near Kaiapoi. He used to wear flax sandals and a blue beret, and was known for sly grogging to his Maori friends because he was a bushman as well, and he was cutting timber and firewood out of the Kaiapoi bush. But he suddenly got a call to go back to England. It turned out he was the son of the manor, and he went back to be Lord of the Manor in Surrey.
Along with his flax shoes.
Along with his flax shoes, yes. But he was a hard case, and he had very good cattle, and it was for cattle that he'd actually got the beef shorthorn that he had, but that's what he'd got the cups for. And I have a suspicion that he had actually then decided that the Lord of the Manor life wasn't for him, and he'd gone to Canada, back to a sort of a colonial, because it was a grandson of his who had sent the cups back from Canada.
Would you recommend somebody do it if somebody's got a slight urge?
Oh, definitely, for several reasons. One, they'll thoroughly enjoy doing it. I'm sure they will. But more importantly, it does gather that information together. It's all at risk of being lost unless it's gathered together, and you get it in more than one place. It's handy to have. God forbid, we'd hate to think of major fires or earthquakes again, but we know how delicate archival material can be, particularly if an earthquake ruptures firefighting and everything gets damaged by water. So it's wonderful to do and get it out there, and I think more and more people are actually getting interested in New Zealand's past history as we're starting to develop more of a back history.
And you had a journalistic background, but would you have been able to do it if you hadn't?
Yes, it would have been more difficult, but I'm sure you would have been able to do it, and everybody's very helpful. I mean, although I had a journalistic background, the layout of the book, I had to tap shoulders of somebody else who actually is an expert in laying out and presentation of the material. Scribbling it was second nature to me, so that wasn't difficult, no. But even if you've never done it before, you can soon find somebody who will just copy, proofread it for you and polish up
and ghostwrite it.
And go, yeah, and polish up bits and pieces. Yeah, that's easily it. But I earnestly recommend anybody who's even got the faintest idea that might do it, even if they don't actually end up publishing it. Just get that manuscript together and put that into the museum where you've got the other information. They'd be only too happy to have the assembled information back. As well as journalism and farming, history is a passion of mine, as you may gather, because I do family history as well. But yes, I believe in getting the histories together and preserving them. So I would recommend it.